If you are joining us, you're at Sunday Slow Down. And if you've got a couple pillows, I would keep those handy, or even a foam roller. I'm using a big bolster today, so that will be used primarily for a big stretch we're going to do at the beginning. And then a smaller pillow is good for your hips, just to keep them elevated, to support your low back. Okay, and any issues you have going on with your hips or your knees. Everybody okay out there? Okay, so we're gonna get started. You can actually set that pillow aside, the small pillow, and then take your big pillow or your foam roller, whatever you've got, and then just place it behind you, okay? And then start to lie back. So it may squish down a little bit, but that's okay. And then lay your arms down beside you. Chest stays open. Feet, your knees can actually open like a butterfly shape, or your legs can stay long. Whatever is best to support your body, go for that today. Good, and then just let your body settle in. See if you can utilize some cleansing breath or deep exhales through the mouth to just help your body get a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more connected to the earth beneath you, a little bit more relaxed. And scan your body from top to bottom to see if there's anything that you can do to make yourself just 1% more comfortable. So maybe it's taking your feet closer down to the edge of the mat, or straightening your knees. Or maybe it's loosening your jaw by unclenching at your joint there. Okay. And take a nice big inhale. Hold it in at the top, and then let it go. Maybe notice the extra space you have in your chest in this shape. Notice what it feels like to kind of reverse the over-rounding of your spine and replace it with an arching of your spine. And notice if the palms of your hands are feeling weighted. So maybe allow the palms of your hands to face up towards the ceiling. And maybe even envision a palm stone just resting in the center of your palm. Take 3 more full rounds of breath here. Drawing your breath all the way down into your low belly and out through the nose or mouth. And slowly extend your legs if you have them bent. Great. And then slowly remove your pillow, or maybe even just roll off your pillow, slide it to the side. Good. And lie back on your back in a corpse or shavasana shape. Good. Maybe give some rolls to your ankles and wrists. Good. And then draw both knees in towards your chest. Give your low back a nice kind of stretch here, some relief by drawing your knees in, rocking one to one side and then the other. Just giving a gentle massage to your low back. And then take your knees to the palms of your hands to the tops of your knees and make some circles with your knees. So this kind of helps the sacrum, kind of feels like a little massage here. And be mindful that you're keeping your head, neck, and shoulders resting on the mat. Good. So this is just a movement of the legs. You're not actively moving the arms. They're just moving by way of your legs. Very nice. Good. And then place the soles of your feet on the mat, but keep your feet wide. Okay, or on the floor, wherever you are. And then drop your knees to one side. Good. For added stretch, you can hook your outside heel on the top of your thigh. Okay, so you're targeting the top of your hip flexor, okay, on the opposite side. So if you dropped your knees to the left, we're focusing on the right hip flexor. If you dropped your knees to the right, you're focusing on the left side. Good. Of course, you can do this without the hook of the heel on the thigh. It's totally up to you. But we are doing some movement that is incorporating some hips. So I want to do a little bit of hip opening here. Good. And then inhale, draw your knees up. And then exhale, take your knees to the other side. So again, if you've taken that on, go ahead and add that on. For me, my low back is a little tight today, so I'm just going to do the first step of the position. Good. If it feels good, you can take your chin to the opposite side. Very nice. And then as you're ready, bring your knees back to center and draw your knees back in. Take some rolls or circles, whatever feels good to you. Very nice. And then place your feet on the mat again, okay? This time, take your arms out like a T and cross your right leg around your left leg. Scoot your hips over to the right edge side of your mat or towards the right side, and then drop your knees over, okay? It's a big reclined spinal twist. Take your chin to the opposite armpit or gaze towards the palm of your right hand. Whatever feels good for you. Of course, if this twist is too much, you can just stack your knees and take your knees over to the other side. Totally up to you. Whatever feels best in your body is always advised. Good. And see if you can just use a mindset of observation, not necessarily judgment or comparison, but just noticing what's shifting, what's opening, what's happening in your body. Take another full breath in here. And then exhale slowly, unwind. Take a moment to reset. Good. And then place your right foot down on the mat, on the floor, and cross the other leg. Or shift the hips to the other side. This is for spinal and hip alignment. Okay, it's really advised for twists. And then drop your knees over to the right side, chin towards the left if that feels good. Of course, if you found a new modification that works better for you, I fully support that and advise it if it feels safe in your body. Great. So staying open across your chest here. Breathing through areas of tension. Creating extra space in your body with your exhale. Very nice. Good. And then slowly unwind, uncross. Good. And then everybody come into kind of a fetal position shape. So you're basically going to kind of come into a twist shape if your knees were together, if your legs were kind of looking something like an L or a stair step. Then you're going to kind of roll over. Okay, so your shoulders are going to stack. And then you're going to take the right hand on top of the left. Okay, You can keep your head on the floor. Make sure you have enough space between your ear and your shoulder. And this one is just an arm sweep. So you're going to take your right arm and sweep it above you, back behind you, and around. Okay? So inhale as you go above your head. Exhale as you go down and around. So inhale up and over. Exhale down and around. I kind of think of this as sunrise. Above your head, this is sunset. Good. So we're focusing on some opening in your thoracic spine. So that's what we're focusing on today, which there's a set of 12 vertebrae under the neck. Good. Under the cervical spine. So it kind of covers a big portion of your torso. Good. Very nice. Okay, do that one more round. Beautiful. And then lie back. Just keep your arms facing up, your face facing towards the ceiling. And then to slowly scoot your head to the other side. Okay? So you're scooting your hips, rolling onto your right side, stacking your shoulders, placing your left palm on top of your right. Good. And then finding those sweeps. So inhale, kind of go above the head or sunrise, and then exhale, sunset. Good. Inhale, open. Maybe even feel that squeezing between your shoulder blades as you make that rotation. Good. Very nice. Great. I love sound effects. So I'm hearing them. That's a good sign. That's a great sign. Beautiful. Take one more full round. And then just take a moment to rest here with your chest facing the ceiling still. Your hips are in that stacked position. Great. And then readjust so the tops of your knees face the ceiling. Hug your knees in. Good. Give yourself a rock from side to side. And then begin to give yourself a roll. So kind of massaging the spine, keeping the chin tucked in towards the chest. Arms hugging around the legs. Very nice. Massaging the whole spine here almost. And then come to balance on the top of your pelvis there. Very nice. Good. And then cross your legs. Good. Give your shoulders a roll. If you've got a small pillow, I really love to sit on a prop when I'm doing seated work. Okay? This is a great tool just to kind of get things stacked correctly, I guess is the best way to say it. We can often sit in an improper way. We can kind of sit too far back on our coccyx or sacrum. So this kind of just helps us sit more upright. Okay? So take your arms overhead as you inhale, reach up, and then exhale, hinge over towards the right or the left. It really doesn't matter. Keep your hips grounded, and then tilt your chest up towards the ceiling. Okay? Good. Take another nice deep breath in and out. Feel that full stretch all the way from the top of the hip through your fingertips. Very nice. Good. And then inhale, draw your arms up high, and exhale, hinge to the other side. Good. So the spine has 6 directions, if you will, because it does forward, back, right, left, and so forth. But it arches and it rounds, and it twists from one side to the other, and then it also laterally flexes, which this is lateral flexion. So we're just going to reach up again on your inhale and exhale, and we'll do it with the breath. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge over to one side. Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, create space in those rib bones with the breath. Good. Inhale, reach up. And exhale. Good. One more time on each side. Inhale and exhale. Very nice. Good. And then come back and take a few rotations of your shoulders. So fingertips to the tops of the shoulders is kind of what I like. It just feels more controlled and feels nice. So take a few forward and then take a few back to the back. So take the points of your elbows back toward the back of the room or wherever you are. Good. And then let the palms of your hands rest on your knees. Close your eyes if that feels good. And if you would like to invite an intention into your practice, you may do so. It can be a word, a phrase, maybe a person. Very nice. And then slowly lift your eyelids. Good. And we're going to take eagle arms next. So be sure you're sitting upright. Good. Arms out like a T. Whatever arm feels good, okay, for you. Wrap it under the other one. And then come to this double twist. If that is not available to you, no problem. You can single twist it or even give yourself a hug. Okay? So whichever version works best for you, do that one. Okay? We have the palms together here in this version. Okay, lift the elbows as high as you can, no matter where you are. Okay, and then kind of open that space between your shoulder blades. Okay, so you've got a lot of muscles going on there, and they often need a stretch, but they need an active stretch and not a passive stretch, which is often what we do when we're hinging in front of our computers, you know, like this. So let's do a more active stretch, and then let's reverse the stretch, okay, with a cactus arm. So we can do cactus arm like this or just pull it back. Okay, so we'll take that eagle stretch and then take the cactus arm. Okay, good. With cactus arm, be sure that you're looking up, maybe at the crease of where the wall and the ceiling meet, if that's what's good for you, just to the point where you're not cranking your neck, okay? And that's kind of a good gaze point. It's forward and up just slightly, or even forward and down slightly, but not straight down, right? So we want to be able to keep our neck spine really long. Good. So this can be used as a flow too, okay? And then when you're ready, you can reverse your cross. So the other arm can go underneath, okay? So you can even tuck if that feels good for you, and then open. There are lots of varieties that you can do. Find what's best for you. Good. This one is really great to do after you've had a really long period of sitting, or you've even just come to the awareness of, oh, I'm sitting in that posture again. That's not really good for me. So you can do this at any point in your day. But I like to use this as like a break or a reset kind of thing. Okay? So take another set here. One more. Good. Very nice. And then come back to center. Just let your arms kind of rest. Or if you need to shake them out at all, you can. And then take some gentle hip stirs. So shift your torso from one side to the other, circling. I kind of like to think of myself as a genie in a bottle here. Kind of a fun way just to imagine yourself. And then reverse directions whenever you're ready. Yeah, feel the spine move maybe a little bit more easily now. So kind of more of an undulation or a kind of serpentine feeling through your spine. Good. And then come to center. Take a pause. And then find yourself in table. So table is hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Okay? Good. So the tops of your feet can stay flat, or you can curl your toes under. I do both. It's really what's good for you. If you're finding that you are having a lot of pain through your arches, toes under may feel really nice for you. Okay? So if you know cat and cow, this is your cue. Go ahead and go for that. So as you inhale, drop the belly, open the chest, feel the back spine, your spine arch. Good. And then as you exhale, tuck your chin. You'll feel your hips draw under and pull your navel into your spine. Good. Inhale, you find your cat lift or cow. Exhale, you find your cat tuck or cat. Good. Keep going. Good. Some of you may feel called to incorporate some other movements into this stretch or flow, and that's completely fine. So I know I like to kind of incorporate some lateral movements in my spine from time to time, and I invite you to do what's best for your body, but do be mindful to get these good flexions in of your spine. Beautiful. Take one more full round. And then let's meet in table. Okay? So I'm going to do, we'll just do this position, this move, and, follow along with whatever side that you're working on. Okay? So reach one arm up, before you do that, okay? Bring one hand kind of underneath your shoulder a little bit more towards the middle of the mat, and then reach the opposite arm up overhead, kind of squaring your chest towards the wall or to the space you're in. And then on your exhale, thread your needle, literally thread your arm underneath the opposite arm, rest your head and ear on the floor. Okay, you can stay here or reach the front hand forward or reach it up overhead and wrap it around your low back. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate it on the other side just so you can see me. Okay, here, good, yeah. So we're really focusing on the pecs, opening up the shoulder. We want to create space through the ear or between the ear and the top of the shoulder, and really open up the chest. Good. Very nice. This is called thread the needle, if you didn't know that. Thread the needle, yeah. So to unwind, just unhook your arm. You're basically going to go out the way you went in. So unhook your arm, release your arm overhead, and then place your hand on the floor. And then reach up with the other arm, kind of as a counter twist, and then come back down to table. Okay? Think you can do that on your own on the other side? No. You don't have to. Okay. Now bring the other hand towards the middle of your mat. Okay? Reach your hand up on the opposite side. Exhale, thread your arm through. Rest your ear down to the floor. Okay? You can look up towards the ceiling and reach that extra arm up towards the ceiling, and then wrap it behind the low back. Good. You can even hook your hand to the inside of your thigh if that feels good or if it's available. No worries if not. You're still getting the benefits of the movement. Okay? Keep breathing. This is one of my favorites. I just find it so restful in an interesting way. But I really love how it opens my chest and my shoulder, because my shoulder girdle can get kind of janked up a bit, for lack of a better term, just because I use them so much. So this one I find feels really nice. Good. And then slowly begin to unwind, reach your arm up overhead, place the hand on the floor, and then twist to the other side. Good. And then bring your hand down. Maybe wag your tail from side to side a little bit. If you want some extra, you can stack your knees and then drop your hips and open your chest with your arm. Yeah. Kind of a release of the low back, opens up the chest a little bit. Moves the hips. Very nice. And then return to table. Keep your hips where they are, keep your knees where they are. And then begin to walk. Or first, if you have a pillow and would like the support, you can place the pillow on their mat here, okay? You don't have to have it, but it feels kind of nice. Keep your knees where they are, like in table, and then walk your hands forward. And you can rest your chest on your pillow, maybe using your forehead or your chin, depending on what your flexibility is. Your forehead is fine, or you put your forehead on the pillow, okay? All good. So this is puppy dog. One of my favorites too. I have a lot of favorites, but this one also feels really nice. It's great for the thoracic cage and opening up the arms, getting a really good lat stretch is key here. You get another nice full breath in. Okay, you can either hold this position here or widen your knees out to the corners of or to the side edges of your mat and find your child's pose. So this one again, if you need a pillow between your hips and your knees, that is a-okay too. That may feel really good for your practice. Okay, as you take your hips back towards your knees, also kind of bow your torso down towards the mat. So you're still creating that space in your front body. Maybe even noticing how your shoulder blades naturally want to pull back onto your back. Good. If it feels better to stack your hands here and rest your head on your hands, you can do that. You just want a more restorative position in your body. Good. And then walk your hands over to one side of your mat. So walk your hands over to the right. Kind of lift your chest a little bit and exhale, bow down towards the floor. Just focusing on that lateral side of your body or that left side. Good. And then inhale, pick yourself up. Exhale, walk over to the other side. I find this one is really good for getting a really deep stretch in the lats. I love this one with my fingers kind of pressing into the floor, my palms lifted, so my hands are kind of tenting on the floor. Good, and then walk your hands back to center. Good, and then peel yourself forward, come forward, bring your forearms to the floor. Good, for Sphinx pose. So, legs extended back behind you, feet flat on the tops of the feet flat on the floor. Arms your forearms are on the floor, your elbows stack underneath your shoulders. Okay, you find a nice opening happening in your spine here. Okay, so you're getting a nice arch. Okay, only go as far as it feels good. Okay, and your head, you're gonna keep your gaze forward and just see if you can kind of draw your chin back a little bit, almost giving yourself a double chin. May feel a little awkward at first, but it actually can be really relaxing. So be very mindful that your shoulders aren't hunching up towards your ears. You're really staying kind of engaged in your shoulders. So your upper arm bones are staying plugged in, okay? You're not losing that activity there. Good. Maybe even tone your belly a little bit here and pressing your pubic bone down towards the floor. It's really great too for your low back. Good. So I love sphynx pose. It's kind of like cobra, which we're going to do a little cobra action as well. But it's one that you can kind of hold for a longer period of time. Good. And then come all the way down to the floor. Extend your arms like a T. Okay. And we're going to take a little bit of a scorpion. Okay. So lift your right leg up off the floor. Bend your knee. Take your toes to the other side of the floor behind you. Okay. And then come up and release. And do the same thing on the other side. So lift the left foot, bend the knee. Take the toes to the right side. Good. And then release. And do that a few times just to kind of open up the head. Beautiful. Open up that front hip flexor pocket. And again, we do this one a little bit differently, and it's a little bit more of takes a little bit longer to get into than this, but this is a variation of it. Good. A few more here. Very nice. And one more on each side. Good. Very nice. And then just come to your belly. Place your hand, or bend your elbows, place your hands underneath your forehead and just kind of find a prone shavasana here. Maybe even drop your hips from one side to the other, or shake your hips out a little bit just to release your low back. That can feel nice. Good. Full breath in and out. Very nice. And then, pardon me, bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Good. Okay. And palms can be on the floor. Elbows point up towards the ceiling. And on your inhale, lift your chest. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Find your back bend. Good. So cobra here. And this can be enough, right? This can be plenty. Hold for another breath. Pubic bone presses down to the floor. And exhale, slowly come down. Good. Next variation, your hands can go a little bit wider. You can put your fingertips on the mat or tent your hands again. And then inhale, lift up. Good. Very nice. So we're still maintaining those same principles of Sphinx. So your chin kind of tucks. We're not like losing our neck here. Shoulders down away from your ears. Good. Exhale, lower. And then do another one any way you like. So inhale, lift up. Bhujangasana is what we call this in yoga. Yeah. Okay. You can even play with floating your hands. or taking your hands behind your low back. Good. This is more locust variation. But be mindful that your low belly is staying toned and that you're pressing your pubic bone down. Okay? That's really, really important with this practice. Good. And then whenever you're ready, just slowly come down. Maybe find that prone Shavasana again. Maybe this time open your feet wide, or you even point your toes out to the side. That can feel really good. Nice. Good. That's one of my favorites to do when my low back is feeling a little bit achy. Very nice. Slowly bring your legs back together. Put your hands underneath your shoulders here and press yourself up. Refind your cat and cow if you like, or take some barrel rolls or circles in your torso. Good. Very nice. And if it feels good and you're feeling paused, place your hands firmly on the floor, a little wider than your shoulders. Curl your toes under, lift your knees, guide your hips back for downward facing dog. Pedal out your heels if you like, just to get a good stretch in the whole leg on the posterior side. This is not required by any means, okay? Good. And then come back down to your knees if you like, or you can do this straight from downward dog. Step your right foot forward, okay? Guide your left knee back and just come into a low lunge. Your hands can go to the inside of your foot, okay? Take your gaze forward and look down to the crease of the floor in this wall, or gaze up. And be mindful that you're not cranking your neck or over hinging your head there. So again, targeting the front of your hip on the left side is what side I'm on. You may be on another side, and that's totally kosher. Very good. Very nice. Good. Take another full breath here. And low lunge. Also, if you've got, pillows around, it feels better to have your hands on those. You can do that. Or if it feels better to come in and out of it, that's completely fine too. You can really make this whatever you need. Okay? And then either step back into your downward facing dog or come back to your kneeling or your table, and then place the other foot forward. So place the left foot forward if you went along with me. Hands to the inside of the foot. Good. And then just walk your back knee back just a little bit. Doesn't have to be much. Until you feel that good stretch in the front of the right hip this time. Yeah. So the hip flexors get a lot of action and a lot of activity because they're pretty much on all the time. When we sit, when we stand, when walking, if you like to hike, they can get really achy too. Really everything. That's just a few things, but a lot of things. They're active. So it's rare that we kind of spend time to open them up. So take a little bit of time today. Very nice. Good. Another full breath in here. And out. Slowly, mindfully return back to the table. If you want to take another child's pose or puppy, you're welcome. Or if you'd like to return to your cat cow, that's fine too. our peak pose, which we're just moving towards camel, or Ustrasana is what we call it in yoga. We'll be moving into the shape, and what's required of that shape is an open heart, an open chest, which you all have been doing, and open hips, or hip flexors. So, since not everybody has blocks, we're just going to do a bit of variation and do as much as you like. Okay? So, one thing I really do like to do, first we're going to do this. So, everybody on your back. Okay, take your small pillow in between your legs. Good. And come back to your back. Soles of the feet on the floor, toes point forward. Okay. On your inhale, lift your hips up. Okay. And then if you like, take your arms back behind you. Good. Good. Exhale, slowly lower down. Okay. So do that a few times. Arms lift with the hips. Inhale, lift up. Squeeze that pillow with your inner thighs. Exhale, lower down. Great. Inhale, lift up. Exhale. Go for another round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Two more. Very nice. Good. Then just place your pillow to the side. We'll be using it again. Good. And then come up in whatever way you need to your knees. Okay. So just going to roll up here. You can move to the side. Good. Okay. So camel. I'll be honest, my low back is kind of giving me some issues today, so I'm probably not going to go into full camel. What I love to do is I love to use a pillow or a block. This one's a little strange, but you can maybe fold yours in half. I like to put this in between my knees, and then I also like to curl my toes under, okay? With this movement, what you want to make sure of more than anything is that your hips are moving forward, okay? You're not like going back like this, okay? That's going to put undue pressure on your knees. So you want to be mindful that your hips are pressing forward, okay? As you arch your spine back, okay? Let's say full camel, you would reach your hands towards your heels and catch your heels. Again, no pressure to do that at all. You're still doing camel with your hands on your low back. So the alternative, hands on your low back, you frame your sacrum, okay? I like to frame my sacrum, place my palms there, use my hands to help press my hips forward. As I press my hips forward, my chest starts to naturally open. It's like, hey, I just want to stay open for you. So you stay open. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Keep your elbows pointing down. Good. And chin up, not back. Good. Just up. Kind of that Sphinx neck that we were doing, that double chin. Good. Keep your belly toned. Good. Keep your breath going. Again, this can be something you go in and out of. Just easing yourself in and out of. And maybe you play with catching a heel. Okay, maybe you play with that and do kind of a one arm variation. Totally acceptable. Just be very careful and mindful and kind of prioritize your low back. Very nice. Good. Good, okay. I won't wear you out. So whenever you're ready, hopefully you can still hear me. Yeah, come down. I love to just kind of rest for a moment and then maybe take a child's pose, maybe do some cat-cow, whatever feels like it needs your attention, or whatever you feel called to. Okay. Take a little gentle movement. Good. Find that movement that feels best in your body. I really like the barrel rolls and the cat-cow. Maybe even flowing with your child's pose and cats. Yeah, good. And then make your way on to your back. Good. Onto your back. Draw one knee in. Good. Give it a little bend and straighten, bend and straighten. Good. Good. And then do the other side. And then hook your ankle on top of your thigh. You can stay here for figure 4 or supine pigeon, or you can pick your foot up and take your hands behind your thigh. So your left hand may go to the inside of the leg and clasp the right hand here. Good. You can use your left elbow to hook into your thigh and press your thigh out to the side and flare your toes a lot here. Good. Flare and flex. Great. Take another full breath in. And then exhale, release. Switch to the other side as you're ready. We're moving a little quicker right now just because I'm running out of time, but take your time with this if you need to. Good. And interlace those hands if you did it on the other side. Press your elbow out and into the leg. And keep those feet alive. Good. That protects your joints, that engagement. Good. And then release your legs, maybe let them kind of play in the air a little bit. It can also feel good just to rest your hips on top of your hands. Let them play here. And then take that big pillow that you brought to class or whatever it is you brought and place it underneath your knees as you let your legs straighten out. And rest your arms down by your side, palms face up. And take a full breath in through your nose. Let your body settle as you exhale. Release any tension through your jaw and face, feet and hands. If you feel compelled to stay here, please do so. Just round out the class from here. you're feeling ready, start to deepen your breath and take the side rolling into a fetal position. And you can come up and just whenever you're ready. And take your hands to your heart center in Anjali Mudra, or place your hands directly on your heart, your body. And thank yourself for showing up for yourself, for taking the time to slow down and tune in. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week. Namaste.